10, for the first time, America's national debt has surpassed $35 trillion. That's a rate of increase faster than expected. This translates to more than $104,000 per person and $266,000 per U.S. household.
The United States has reached a new record of $35 trillion in national debt and is expected to hit $36 trillion very soon. Every day, we spend $2.5 billion on interest expenses alone. This money could otherwise fund essential services like free school lunches for children and other important causes. According to 10-year baseline projections, the public debt is expected to exceed $50 trillion by 2034. However, at the current pace, this milestone may be reached even sooner, potentially consuming the entire output of the U.S. economy. Next, we need to discuss employment numbers. The latest data indicates that the labor market is in serious trouble, and this is likely just the beginning. I don't think we've even opened Pandora's box yet. A poor labor report showing an increase in unemployment is definitely a red flag. This might be why Senator Elizabeth Warren recently suggested that Fed Chair Jerome Powell should cancel his summer vacation and return to cut interest rates immediately. While few of us believed the Federal Reserve was truly independent of politics, this suggestion seemed particularly obvious to me. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, reports that according to Chart 1 on the left, the unemployment rate is slowly but steadily increasing. Employment levels remain below those of 2023. The BLS states that the unemployment rate rose to 4.3% in July, with the number of unemployed people also increasing. These figures are higher than a year ago when the unemployment rate was 3.5% and the number of unemployed was 5.9 million. Additionally, last month's data was revised downward, indicating that the U.S. economy has slowed down more than initially forecasted. Frankly, such forecasts seem meaningless and unreliable given the BLS's monthly revisions. What this shows is that they are starting to acknowledge that things aren't going as planned and that the situation is worse than expected. Employment numbers were disappointing, with an increase of just 114,000 jobs, nearly 50% below the monthly average. In reality, all net job gains as of July were in part-time employment, meaning people are taking second or even third jobs. Consequently, the U.S. economy lost just over 1 million full-time jobs as of July. Another interesting point I'd like to highlight, especially for those of you in the United States, is the significant shift in the labor market's composition. Native-born Americans have lost 1.2 million jobs, while employment for individuals born outside the United States has increased by 1.3 million jobs. Bloomberg recently reported that Goldman Sachs has raised the probability of the U.S. entering a recession from 15% to 25%. Although many argue that we are already in a recession and have been for some time, this could be a way to plant seeds for later claims of having predicted it. We understand that the real numbers often differ from these reports, which is why we frequently see downward revisions each month. Bloomberg also notes that more Americans are considered long-term unemployed or are working part-time for economic reasons. Those of us who have been following these trends have known for months that the rise in part-time employment is due to more Americans needing an additional income stream to make ends meet. The third interesting point I'd like to discuss today is the latest news regarding Warren Buffett. Buffett, well aware of recent economic indicators and their implications, is taking unprecedented steps with his cash reserves. Currently, the cash pile Buffett is holding is at an all-time high in the history of his company. In a notable and defensive move, Berkshire Hathaway sold $75.5 billion worth of Apple stock a few days ago. This sale has significantly increased the company's liquidity, now sitting at $290 billion in cash. This is a glaring red flag, suggesting that any expectations of near-term stability or positive economic outlooks are highly unrealistic. With that said, I hope this quick overview of recent key data, particularly related to the labor market, is helpful in understanding the current situation. Clearly, there's a lot to be concerned about. Although the Federal Reserve is expected to cut rates by either a quarter point or perhaps even half a point, I don't believe this will be enough to turn things around. By the way, on August 2nd, Fed Chair Jerome Powell commented on the Fed's potential plans to cut rates in September.
The question will be whether the totality of the data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks are consistent with rising confidence on inflation and maintaining a solid labor market. If that test is met, a reduction in our policy rate could be on the table as soon as the next meeting in September.
Now, if you like this video, check out this next video right here.